Welcome back to Point of View. Today on the County Focus, we have Timothy Muriuki from the NCBD, and we bear it all today. Going into our discussion, the hawkers situation. You've intimated that you have an association with SMEs and various other business persons as the NCBD. What's your relation with the hawkers?
Well, from the onset, we have always taken we call them the micro traders.
Okay.
The small traders. They are an important component of the city.
Indeed.
The only problem is perhaps the nature of their business sometimes may interfere with the people who own premises, the people who have business premises and are doing businesses in those premises. And our thinking has always been that there needs to be designated places for those workers. If you go to Hong Kong, from 6 o'clock to date, for very many years, there are designated streets from 6 o'clock to midnight for those traders. So what they do is they bring in their wares, they do their business, and they leave at midnight, and they clean up.
Yeah.
For Nairobi, that may be a bit difficult for now, but it can be done. However, in our opinion, the main issue here is to develop markets for those traders, and markets that are strategically located where they will also find customers. We believe that they exist because there's a demand.
Yeah.
They would not do the business in the streets if there was no demand.
Yeah.
So the main thing is to channel that business to be done constructively, just like any other organized city.
Indeed.
If you can designate streets where they can trade from 6 or from 5, and you remove traffic from those streets, so be it. That is something that we have advocated that can be done, provided it does not also bring another traffic gridlock.
Indeed.
Development of markets. We have variously stated that some market like Muriuki is underdeveloped. We need to develop it into a multi-story market with a lot of parking, with a matatu terminal, same to the central bus station,
Proper planning.
A proper done market terminal, so that as people are accessing that terminal, then they are also able to
access the market.
The markets where those people display and sell their wares.
Indeed.
So it's all about just focusing on where and when to do this. If Muriuki can be done, I'm sure we would take in about another 20,000 traders,
which would be very beneficial
so that
to the
would
city.
Have soaked away a lot of these people. Again, there's also organizing them. I think they need to be all registered. When they do business, you need to identify them, because there have also been people who have taken advantage of the hawking community to come and introduce insecurity. They come in as hawkers, but they're not hawkers.
Yeah.
They're doing other business that is not exactly hawking. So for us, we think that yes, they are there. We need to control so that they don't also come into the middle of the city, because there needs to be order. You can also not say that, because they are hawkers, then we become agents of disorder. No, there has to be order. Business has to be done in an orderly manner. So, and still recognize that they are an important component of business in the city, and therefore provide places where they can do that business.
That's true. That's true. Do you think thus far it has been fair, the treatment that they've been getting from council askaris? I mean, every weekday around 5, there are scuffles in town. You just expect it in certain areas.
Well, we don't support that they're harassed. And, however, we support that there must be some sense of law and order. Any environment that you live in, even in your house, there must be some sense of order.
Yeah.
So probably it's the management of it. When they come in, where are we? Why do you wait until they have accumulated? Then we want to have scaffolds.
Yeah.
So there must be a way of ensuring that in the first place they don't come in, so that we don't have them to have scaffolds and tear gas in the evening.
That's true.
And inconveniencing other wananchis.
Yeah.
Enforce from morning. Don't enforce at 5.
Yeah, that's very true. When there's a bit of human traffic.
Yeah.
Now, as the NCBDA, have you had an opportunity to work with them? There's a Small Hawkers Association. Have you had an opportunity to interact with them and maybe get feedback on the ground on maybe what they'd like?
Yes, we have. In fact, to be precise, their association was a pioneer in implementing the formation of groups for the hawkers. We brought them together, told them that they can form association. The associations they have today are partially the fruits of NCBD work. So yes, we do interact. However, we are also of the opinion that they must not be amorphous, so that we must know who are these people.
Yeah.
Today you could have 10 hawkers here, tomorrow you have 20, the next day you have 30.
No stability.
So, you understand people come all the way from Kakamega, they come, okay, it's their right to come to Nairobi, but then it must be a form of registration to do that business, isn't it? So that you also have a form of control. Today, if you have a market, or if you build a market, who are you going to put into those stalls? Obviously, there must be a way of being registered so that you are then qualified to be in that stall.
Yeah.
Or is it now going to be some other avenue of corruption because there is no order? So we insist that there must be some form of registration, some form of recognition, so that it is recognized that personality A from here is a hawker here, and that's the business they do. It's not illegal.
That's true.
Yes.
It's legitimate.
Yeah.
And share with us, Mr. Muriuki, maybe the feedback that you've gotten from them.
Well, they obviously feel that there's no space for them. They also feel they're harassed by the county government. They feel like they're not being considered, like any other business is being considered. And most of them would like premises where they can be domiciled. So as to do their business.
Yeah.
Their business can be lucrative, but because of the erratic nature, then it's not, the income is not consistent. But it can be consistent if they are domiciled somewhere.
That's true.
Permanently.
All right. Now, pollution has been on the lips of everybody, especially for Nairobi County. And maybe highlight what steps you've taken as NCBDA to address it. Recently, the WHO put our pollution levels at 10 times above what we can say a safe zone.
Well, I'll be honest, that's not an area that we have pretty much interacted with the government and with the population on. However, there are quite a number of issues to do with pollution.
Yeah.
There is obviously the air pollution that has got to do with our vehicles that we are driving on our roads.
Yeah.
Emission of carbon monoxide. There's also the land pollution.
Yeah.
The paper. This plastic paper
that
is enormous.
Yeah.
And for us, our position has been that this plastic paper menace must be curbed.
Oh.
You have seen what they've done to our sewerage system. So for us, it's from those two areas that really we must look at. Now, in terms of air pollution, that is something that we, even as a government, have not been very serious in. It's rare you see a car being removed from the road because of the amount of smoke it's emitting.
That's true.
But we must start that.
Yeah.
Now, on the area of the the environmental pollution, the papers, the plastic paper menace, that has to be curbed. I think that's something that we have to contend with, controlling. Now, noise pollution, the national government empower NEMA so that they're able to take on their roles more robustly. Control noise, control air pollution, and control environmental pollution.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking another short break. We've been having an insightful discussion on Nairobi County with Mr. Timothy Muriuki. We're taking a short break. This is Point of View. Keep it TVC.